Okay, everybody, welcome to episode 9 of Conversation Transfer. Today is very special today. What are we doing today?
Well, we got special guests in studio. That just sounds cool to say.
Yes, our first special
In the
guest.
basement studio.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our first guests. Yes, would you welcome, please? And we should use nicknames so that identifying is funny. We've got Bean and Scout with us today, and they are a couple of artists extraordinaire, and we're
sisters.
my daughters, Hayden's sisters, and we just welcome to Conversation Transfer.
Yeah.
That's when you say thank you. Hi.
Okay. Thank you. Hi.
I know, it's a little awkward getting on the mic for the first time.
It's very awkward.
Yeah.
So,
you guys ready? We kind of have a bit of a gallery set up down here. Well, I set it up. It took me a little while. I'm kind of cool. It's kind of cool. We've got a bunch of canvases and stuff with paintings on them.
some of the artwork that they've done in the past there.
Yes.
Some of your works.
Both left and right side. I think most of these is probably Scouts, but some I've worked on with Bean as well.
Right.
Do you have any paintings of your own, Bean?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. Well, then
I guess it's just that one that...
Well, there's that one too on the edge. There's a mountain scene that we did,
Oh, yeah.
copying Bob
that one's
Ross.
awesome.
And then we have one over here that we did together. It's an owl. We did it on a piece of wood.
Bean.
Would you like to describe that one? How we did it?
Bean.
Bean. Well,
We
no, it's
had-
gonna have to be edited out.
Right.
A piece of wood, and we painted on it, and then wood burned on it.
Yeah. Would you like to describe the process, like, of wood burning, painting? What do you do first? What do you do last?
Yeah, how does that work?
Steps, the procedure.
How did you get that on there?
Well, Hayden looked up a stencil on the internet. It's an owl, and so he got it out of the internet, printed it out, and then he used his special paper and pushed it onto the wood, and then
It's like a carbon copy paper.
he wood burned it on there, and then we painted over it.
Well, we both wood burned it on there.
What did you do? Light a fire? What do you mean wood burn it? What?
It's a tool.
Like the wood burner, the tool that you plug in and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, could you explain the tool? I know.
What's going on there? Is
Yeah.
fire shooting out the end? I don't get it.
Yeah.
How about you explain it, Hayden? You're the one who used it.
Well, we both used it.
Okay, fine.
Go
it's
ahead.
a thing that heats up and it has a metal tip, and then the metal tip burns into the wood.
Oh, kind of like the things you use to connect the wires. What are
Yes.
those?
The
Soldering gun?
soldering gun.
Oh, okay. So, but
Sort of like that. Has different heads you screw in for different uses. But wood burned it, and what we do next after that?
We painted it.
Painted it. Yes. Kind of within the tracing of the wood burn, right? It's an owl. It's kind of like branch mix. It looks like a branch, but makes the shape of an owl, with a lot of leafy greens around the sides and some stars in the sky, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
what kind of paint did you use on that, Bean?
Acrylic paints.
And what's that about? Explain it. Is there... I mean, I know watercolors, so what's the...
It's just acrylic paint.
Well, where'd you get the acrylic paint? Like, where do you find acrylic paint? What's it good
Anywhere.
for?
I don't know. It was in the house and I used it.
So, okay, it was in the house and you used it. Is that something that we painted the walls with, or?
I don't know how to explain it. It's acrylic paint.
So, it's not paint you put on the wall.
No.
It doesn't come in a giant bucket. It comes in what?
A small tube.
Okay. So probably if you search up acrylic paints, they do good on wood, right? Did it do good on wood? Would you say? I don't know.
Ish.
Ish. It looks pretty good, I think. Of course, I did it.
I do think it looks great.
That
So.
helped.
So these other pictures here, these are scouts. I mean, that one's really cool with the stars at night there.
Yeah.
Scout.
Would you like to explain that one?
Which one?
The one on the far most right, the starry one with the trees.
And the moon.
Yes.
What's
Okay,
happening
well,
there?
they both have trees and stars, but I get what you're saying now. Well,
Don't click. Go ahead. I'm sorry. More editing.
okay, well, it's made of acrylic paints, and I use
Acrylic again.
Yeah, I mostly use acrylic. I've used watercolor a few times, but
So
never.
is acrylic paint oil paint?
No,
No. Okay.
No.
that's
There's
water-based.
only one oil paint here.
Oh.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the
And acrylic paint works on canvas then as well.
yeah.
Does it work differently than oil paint? Like, what's the difference between those two?
Well, oil paint, it takes a lot longer to dry. That's the main thing that I noticed about it. And it's more like creamy, I'd say.
Oil paint is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Does it like mix more? Kind of like it blends with the colors that are already on the canvas?
yes, it's, yeah. And I used paint paint brushes for most of the bigger, larger details, but I also used toothpicks for some of the stars and the small details.
Toothpicks.
Like dotted, just took a little piece of paint and dotted it on, or
Yeah.
how did you use? Okay.
And yeah,
What did you use for the trees? Those are wicked. You've got like a stump from them, and it's like a T that kind of goes down, but you can see each individual branch and leaf almost in this padded sort of way. What'd you do for that?
well, I've used different brushes for trees. For the painting right beside that, I use a different brush. I actually like those trees a little better.
I do too. You're talking about the black and white one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those they're a little darker and compact. And I think I used a bigger brush for the ones on the right, and then a little or one for the other one. And I think that definitely made a difference. I also used some more paint and was a lot more focused on detailing for those since they're smaller.
Okay, and do you want to just explain that other one that you were comparing it to the left? What is that a painting of?
Okay, so it is a black and white painting. There's black on the top and it fades down into white. And there's stars on the black part, and then down at the bottom there's a pop-up camper with that's black as well with some black trees.
It's very cool, the contrast between those, the color and the black and white. You really did make that look like black and white. Like the medium of a black and white photography.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying
You
to
really
go for,
pulled
not-
that off.
So it's not like colorful like these others. It's black and white and some gray.
But the way that gray fades, it makes a use
Yeah.
of shadow, I guess. Is that it?
To kind of portray color almost.
Yeah,
Like, you
to
know-
make it look like different shades of color, but
Well, the sense of realism.
And
The way that fades down from top to bottom, that is so cool. The other thing I thought the fade is the picture over here that you did. Is that a cherry tree?
Cherry blossom, yeah.
Cherry. So, and we're doing this as a podcast.
obviously you can't see.
You can't see any of these things, so we might want to think about our topic before we.
Well, I don't know. I'll have to look into it. There might be a way to post images or something next to it in
Right.
the description. I'd have to look into that. There's probably not. So we're trying to describe them as best we can.
Anyways, what I was talking about is you got a lamp
Yeah.
in that picture, and it's dark. It's obviously nighttime, and the way you made the glow come off of that lamp is just. I don't think that's
Crazy.
something I could have done in a million years.
No. And when Mom sent this picture to some relatives, they instantly said Van Gogh, the artist. I don't
It
know.
is very Van Gogh,
It's-
like Starry
looks-
Night.
Yeah. Would you like to explain how you did that one? I know that one took you hours.
yeah. Well,
Is
this
that
one
acrylic or oil?
It's acrylic again. We didn't have the oil paints at this point of time.
Yeah.
But
Well, except for the liquid white.
yeah, we did have liquid white. That made it a little hard. We learned that you can't mix acrylic and liquid white. That they go with oil.
So don't mix
So-
oil paints and acrylic. You're saying.
Yeah, I did that
So
on
that's a
the
mistake. You've got liquid white on there, and you shouldn't have it on. There?
on one half. I
Oh.
learned from my mistakes.
I can't even tell.
Yeah, you can tell if you look a little closer. The paint didn't pick up as good on my dabbing of the flowers, and so this painting, it has two halves. I used masking tape for a border around it, and then added flowers after that. And basically, one half is a cherry blossom at day, and the other is a cherry blossom at night.
It's the same tree.
Yes,
Yeah.
the same tree, and I basically really went off of how the pink and purplish colors would look at night. So then I use like dark purples, blues, those types of color for the nighttime. And for the lamp, I used a toothpick again for some of the smaller details. And I had to go over that a couple of times with black because sometimes it has patchy spots. And then I just put yellow, like a really concentrated yellow in the inside of the lamp. And then on the outside, I darkened the yellow a little bit by adding black. And then I kept darkening the yellow until I got rid of the yellow at that point. And then I just got a gray, so I mixed white and black. And then I kept on going in a circular motion with my brush and then adding black to the gray mixture until we got to a deeper black on the,
So like the light's the epicenter. It's like beaming out
yeah.
in a circular motion. That's
Yeah, that is
very
a very cool effect.
coffee.
Yeah. Very good. I have to ask you, what is your training? What's your formal training?
Bob Ross.
Yeah, how I kind of got started on all of these paintings is I took a watercolor piece of paper and I decided to try a Bob Ross on that. And
Bob Ross, the guy from television, the guy that used to do the NPR shows, Painting with Bob Ross.
NPR.
Yeah, NPR, not
it was
NPR,
PBS.
PBS, public television.
Yes.
Yeah,
it
that
was-
Bob Ross, big Afro
He
guy.
had like 30 seasons or something.
yeah,
He's dead now.
Oh God, he was an old guy. I remember being your age and watching that guy.
Yeah, he was around from like the 70s, I think, throughout
Right.
the 90s.
Yeah, wow. So that's the guy we're talking about.
yeah, and so then
I thought
I
he did oil paintings though.
he does
watercolors?
he did no that's not
No,
watercolor.
she said
Oh,
she's
she was
going.
I
so
used
awful.
watercolor, like a big cardstock watercolor.
Where did you find Bob Ross though?
YouTube.
Oh, of
They
course.
have all
Duh.
the Bob Ross, that company, because he created a company, you can actually buy his paints online at almost any store. He has a company, he sells brushes, paints, all that stuff. Even when the show was going on, they started the company still exists. On YouTube, that company created a channel called Bob Ross, posted all 31 seasons to where you can see every single painting he ever did
And he's the
on
guy.
television.
Put the pretty little tree here
Yep.
next to the pretty
Yes.
little bush. Yeah, that guy.
That guy. And now, even today, I think they have other painters that feature on that channel as well.
Oh,
It's called like Keeping the Dream Alive.
right. Yeah, the
the
thing
same
about that
style.
guy that was amazing was in whatever his show was, 30 minutes. How long are they?
Yeah.
And that's somewhere they yeah
Vary.
yeah I think
Yeah,
so.
they were uncommercial interrupted because it was PBS, but he would start with white paper, or I guess you'd say canvas,
Yeah.
and then by the end of it, this beautiful scene
Not always.
with the pretty little trees. And
Yeah,
pretty-
sometimes he uses black canvases.
Oh,
and
black.
like
Well,
canvases with special circles. And
Yeah.
wow, you guys have seen a lot of them then, huh?
Kind of.
Not particularly.
So your formal training is YouTube.
Well, I did 2 Bob Ross paintings, and then I kind of started to stray away from Bob Ross. The second one, I think I did
Right,
on
because those
canvas.
over there are more like Bob Ross. Like
Ish.
that one. Yeah, Bob
Yeah.
Ross.
Those 2 are Bob Ross. And then-
Okay.
While we're on the topic of Bob Ross, me and Bean actually,
Did I say her name instead of Scout again?
I don't know.
You'll be editing.
I'll be editing, probably bleeping out the times that we accidentally said the name. But oh well. Anyway, me and Bean tried a painting, based off of a Bob Ross painting because we just got these oil paints.
That's that one over there.
Yes,
That is excellent.
it's not the best, but
That is excellent. That
It
looks like a
good
Bob Ross.
from far away.
it's a
You get
good
close
first
up
try.
and you can see
First
so
try.
many.
It was our first try, right? So do you want to explain our
I
process?
think that might be a style of painting, though, Bean. Who was it that did the dots? Is that Monet?
Yeah, Monet. He was an impressionist,
Right.
and that is kind of an impressionist painting.
Right.
But
Well, yeah, Bob Ross
like
uses an
impressionist
style.
paintings are supposed to be smudgy, but that one's just a little bit too.
From where I'm sitting, that looks excellent.
Well,
Yeah.
do you want to see the comparison? I could pull the comparison up.
No, I don't need to. I'm just saying you're criticizing yourself, Bean, but
That's also a first try.
yeah, why?
That was
I don't
crazy.
get it.
I
Did
think
you
it's
explain the
better
process
than
that we
mine.
went through? That was a pretty fun process, like our setup and
Yeah.
how long it took and how we did it.
Well, we were out in the garage with a tarp down, and we put the computer out in front of us and was watching the Bob Ross video, and then we had our paints and our mineral spirits to clean the oil paints out of the paintbrushes, and our rag beside us on a table, and then we coated the canvas in liquid white just like Bob does, and we followed his painting.
Which, not at all exactly, obviously, because...
We failed the mountains,
Yep. Jonah, what about the trees?
and the trees are rough.
They're just impressionist mountains.
And how about the bushes?
We have no volume.
What about our stone? We had to add the stone in there.
Oh, is that a stone? I
That
thought
was-
that was a dead squirrel.
Seriously?
No, I'm just joking.
Well,
Yeah, it doesn't look like a stone. It looks like
what does it look like?
A bank or
if I
something.
squint my eyes really hard, it looks like a sandbank or something.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Well, see, the stone tactic is a lot like the mountain tactic, and we can't do mountains, and we can't do stones, so it's a blob.
Well, we're just learning how to
Just
do
like-
it.
I think the mountains are better than anything I could have done. I mean, they look like mountains.
And it was the first try, too.
Right.
So.
I mean, that looks like the Tetons somewhere. Out in
well,
Wyoming.
Bob paints Alaska because he used to live there. I think.
Oh, okay. So Denali.
yeah, something like that.
Right. Awesome. Wow. So your formal training,
Is YouTube?
YouTube,
So
And-
self-taught. That's pretty cool.
that you must have some sort of passion for doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, is there? What's driving? What's the force behind doing these?
Birthday presents.
Yeah. Well,
Did you say you don't ever do anything just for fun?
no,
Well,
I do.
we do. We've painted rocks before.
I did
also,
that one for fun. I did the camper one for fun.
There you go. I like that. What are those jellyfish?
Yeah, that was my second one after my Bob Roth. That was my first canvas painting. This was my second one after that. And then my third, which we don't have here, it's the one that our neighbors have.
Oh, that you did was a present to them.
Yeah.
Yep. That was that little one.
It was that size.
Yeah, that was very nice.
And yeah, so how'd you do that water one with the jellyfish? Was that acrylic paints too?
Yeah, like I said, all mine are acrylics. I haven't tried the oil yet.
Are you going to? Planning to?
Yeah, I have done a watercolor on paper. I haven't tried that on canvas. I know you can though, because my friend has done it sometimes. And
What about the boogeyman?
Yeah, the boogeyman.
That was.
oh yeah, that one it has a watercolor background, but the boogeyman isn't watercolor.
No, it's something I could have done.
You're mean.
I'm sorry.
Was pretty.
Well, she just did that as a insider joke. That was an insider joke.
Inside joke.
Yeah.
Insider.
joke. For you, for I think Father's Day.
Yeah,
right?
Father's.
Yeah, Father's Day. I guess it had
We all
something
said
to
it,
do.
yeah.
It had something to do with this basement.
Yes. So I'd like to ask you a question about style. Like, do you know different styles of paintings, or do you have like a specific style that you like best? Like, what styles do you paint?
I like impressionist paintings.
Mm-hmm.
So like Bob.
Yeah,
Bob
like
Ross.
Bob and Monet. He's probably my favorite artist, Monet.
Okay. So look up. Let's look up Monet paintings. Cause how do you spell that?
I like his painting Bridge Over a Pool of Lilies.
Oh, I don't like that
Okay.
one.
Wow, that one's complicated. Is that one that's done with dots or swirls, or how did he do that?
It's just a lot of blendedness. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because the colors are really earth tones, and there's not a lot of bright colors.
That's very nice. I can
Is very impressionist.
fall in love with that painting. Really.
So
easy.
if you just look online, general search Bridge Over a Pool of Lilies. This is by who? Monet?
Lord.
Claude Monet, 1899. That's a pretty. That's very symbolic of impressionist.
Yeah, you can see I don't want to say errors, but the bridge just doesn't look quite right. Everything else seems to be in the right space, but the bridge doesn't look quite right. And that's just my humbled opinion.
Looks like the bottom should be a little longer, like the place where you walk. It looks so.
Yeah, it
thin.
doesn't look quite right. Yeah, it's almost as if there is some bottom missing to it. There's not enough depth to the bottom of that bridge.
He did do really well on the rails. I like how you can see the other ones just a little off from where your perspective is.
Yeah.
Bean,
You said impression style of painting. How about you?
Scout,
Oh my gosh, I just used a name. Just gotta edit that out.
How about you, Scout?
Scout.
Well, I don't know.
Did you studied art in school then, Bean? What's up with or is this just
Yes.
flipping through
Yeah.
books? Where did you come up with the favorite?
We learned about Impressionism in 7th grade,
Okay.
and I just really liked it because, like, it's not very detailed. but,
Right.
like, you can still see what they were trying to do, and it's cool.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I've studied art too this year. We have it for a semester, and then we have music the other semester.
Yeah. And what did you study in art? What were the things that you did? Was it just other people's paintings? Was it
Well,
how to create art? What was the
Here's the thing: I wouldn't know what to call my style of painting because we studied a lot of like realism and I'm trying to think. We had like 6 different time periods for art, and I don't remember. So that's
Well,
great.
the cherry blossom trees is very unique.
I call
Setting.
that one pretty abstract.
Can you explain what abstract and like realism I heard you say mean? What's abstract?
Well, that one it's very not too detailed in some points. It's a lot of colors and more designs really than details. Realism. Trying to think, is that the one where they painted all about sad things? Because there was one.
Let me look.
I'm pretty sure it was, like, a lot of city paintings, like, I think it's called rural paintings, and, like...
Realism, this is according to Google, sometimes called naturalism, is the arts generally the attempt to represent subject matter truthfully, without artificially and avoiding artistic conventions or impulsible, exotic, and supernatural elements. So you're not putting things that shouldn't exist in.
Impulsible should be implausible.
I can't see the computer's far away because I'm talking into the microphone. But the gist, I guess, is only.
Whoa! That was a
Sorry.
sneeze at it.
No, we freestyle. We leave them in.
Leave 'em in.
Okay, but just only real things that you'd see in everyday
Well, that makes sense. Realism is real things, not the opposite of impressionism, probably. So.
Yes.
My art teacher would be so disappointed in me right now. I don't even remember.
Well, yeah.
You do art. You don't,
Study. Don't do the hard part.
Yeah, which is why this is really weird us doing a podcast about this, because the listening audience cannot see these paintings. So
I wonder if there's some way I'll be able to upload.
you'll have to check that out. Yeah.
Probably not. I'm guessing not.
Well, what if we talked about that, and just to get off topic for a second, putting the podcast on YouTube as an audio only,
You could put them.
and then you could just flash them.
Yeah. You could.
Well, why don't we start a YouTube
We
channel?
might do that. That'll be because of our storage sense.
Well, let's just do it. Let's just make it happen.
We'll see. That's not an official
We'll see.
announcement
We'll see.
because we gotta discuss that.
Right. Well, I think
But,
it's official.
Bean.
You,
Bean.
Bean. Darn it. You mentioned, what was his name, Mono or something?
Monet.
Monet. I can't. Anyway,
Implausible.
that was your favorite.
Mono?
Monet was
Implausible?
your favorite.
What's his
artist.
word? Mom always teasing me about?
Oh, stop.
What is it? Peppermint?
Temperament?
Is it peppermint? Say peppermint.
Peppermint.
Okay, what is
No,
it?
it's
Impossible?
permanent.
Permanent. Say
Permanent.
permanent. Okay, he's got it.
I've got it. Haha. But you mentioned Monet.
Scout.
What is do you have any favorite artists?
Scout,
Scout. God.
do you have any favorite artists?
Well,
Let's see.
Do 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 do.
you're just gonna distract me.
Okay, I'm just trying
Okay,
to fill in the dead air.
I'd say probably no, I
Okay.
don't.
You don't have any. Just go off with whatever.
Bob.
Bob Ross. Okay.
How do you guys get your ideas? Like, how do you know what you're going to paint
Yeah,
next?
where did that idea to do that split cherry blossom tree come from? Was that something you saw, or somebody else did something similar? Where did that come from?
Well, I think I thought of that one. I did have to look up a reference picture of just a tree for some of the branches. Didn't know exactly how to do those. But the lamp, I think I combined ideas again. And the bench, like the worst part of that painting is the thing I did, just kind of trying to make it look real, even though it doesn't. It looks like a fence.
And it's supposed to be a bench.
Actually, I thought it was a bench, but until you pointed it out right now, it doesn't have any depth in the legs, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But just
I always saw it as a
combination of ideas.
Yeah. But the tree over there, or those two on the end, I came up by myself.
bench. Just out of your imagination.
Just out of your imagination.
That's awesome.
That's
Be myself.
That is really
so the
awesome.
two tree ones, the black and white one we were talking about, and then the original colorful, like sunset-y trees with stars in the
Oh,
sky.
wow. I think I like that black and white one more than I like the color one.
I do too.
Yeah, I think that.
The trees just are pretty wacky on the color one. Like they're okay. They just get wide too soon.
Yeah, I
Especially
don't
that
even
one
know
over
if
there.
that's the thing. I just think the way you brought the sky down is amazing.
I did add water to acrylic paints on
So you can add water to them?
yeah,
To acrylics, but not oils.
yeah, because those are oil based.
Oil
But
and water don't mix.
yeah, I added them for the black and white one for the stars, and I added it for some of the blending, even though the blending isn't too good on the color one for the sun or the sunrise in the background as well.
Are acrylic water-based then?
Yeah,
Oh, so that nothing to do with oil.
no.
Okay. So you have to get specific oil paints if you want to do like follow Bob Ross. And acrylic if you just kind of want a different style of painting, I guess. But I've got another question for you guys. What would you recommend to someone who's just starting to paint?
Don't do it.
Are you serious?
No.
No. Okay.
That was good.
Like
Bean.
we're just
I mean,
starting.
I mean
Lindsay,
Bean.
I think. Bean.
Bean.
What would you recommend?
You're most likely gonna suck.
Wow.
But you should
Glass half empty.
practice more,
Practice.
and then you might get better.
I'd say use paper before you start going on canvas. You don't want to ruin canvases.
Yeah, a little more of an expensive.
Yeah.
Ruin, huh?
So between the, I guess, mediums you've used, water, acrylic, and oil, Lindsay, what is your preferred method? Or do you have one yet?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, yeah. How about? Well, I guess Reagan hasn't used
Oil.
Scout. Hasn't used oil. You use Lindsay too.
Scout. But I'd like to say something. And if you're starting, I'd say get it, and you want to paint on canvas. I'd say get the flat canvases before you start getting the ones with wood on them with canvas stretched across. Because when you start, you're gonna be like pressing down a lot, and you're definitely not really focused on where your arm is, and also you're probably gonna get paint on your arm. But I'd say definitely use the flat ones because otherwise you're gonna press down on the ones with stretched canvas, and you are gonna bend the canvas in, and that you don't want canvases with
Dense.
dense.
Well, that's good advice. Yeah, that's something I would have
And
never.
what when you're buying canvases? What you said, flat canvas and canvas stretched over wood. Where do you get those canvases? Like, do you know where we've been getting ours?
We've gotten ours from Sam's. I know they're on Amazon. They're more expensive on Amazon.
Sam's Club.
Yeah, Sam's Club.
Okay.
They're
But,
probably at like what's that craft store called?
Hobby Lobby.
Yeah. they're
Or
probably at Hobby
Michael's.
Lobby.
Well, yeah, because those are artsy stores. How about like paintbrushes and stuff? Where do you get those?
We got those at Sam's. So Bob recommends you use natural brushes, especially for oil paintings, because I've noticed since Hayden and Bean use the oil paints and use naphtha to clean that off the paintbrushes. Some of my bigger ones, all the bristles are falling out, and they're coming out of the thing that holds them in. So try and use natural brushes for oil paints. Acrylic paints, since you just wash them out with water, you don't have to worry about it. We got those at Sam's. It was like a 45 pack, and they have a lot of different sizes. We also we have used scraper knives sometimes for mountains and stuff. Those we found on Amazon. You don't have to get the Bob Ross brand. There's other brands that have the exact same knife, but in the same shape and everything, and they're the same but a lot cheaper.
Okay. What do you plan in the future to paint? What are you going to paint next? Do you have any ideas?
Not yet.
Whose birthday's coming up?
Hayden's?
I don't normally have ideas. I just
Copy.
when I get the urge to paint, I have to come up with something fast because I don't have ideas stored up.
Well, how does that happen? Do you have an urge, I just want to pull these out and deal in color and then have an idea come up? Or do you I want to paint a house, I want to paint a boat, I want to paint a tree? What is it?
I try to stay in my comfort zone and not paint things like mountains and trees because
She paints splatters.
That was a long time ago.
So
Last year.
What is the inspiration for that? Is it just I want to mess around with paints, or do you say I'd like to put together a painting of whatever's in your comfort zone?
Inspiration equal more Elizabeth.
Well, one time I tried to paint an Arctic scene with polar bears, like the Northern Lights, and there's polar bears at the bottom.
Yeah.
But it failed very miserably. And now I try to stay in my comfort.
So you had the idea that I want to put together a painting of an Arctic scene.
Yes.
Cool. So you're actually thinking of the scene, not playing with paints.
No,
Yeah.
she looks up paintings and she sees the one and she's like,
Not
"That's
always.
how that one went," and
Not
you better
always, though.
believe it.
Well, how
What
do you?
about you, Ray?
Yeah, what are you want to?
Ow!
What do you want?
that was an actual punch.
What do you want to paint? Next? I heard you mention someone's name.
Oh,
Well, that's
yeah,
an
it's
inspiration.
Mariah Elizabeth, not Maura Elizabeth. She's a YouTuber and she's
Oh boy.
she's really good and she's
See, that's someone.
Who
you
is this?
watch.
You've got to explain this to me now.
Yeah,
um
I don't know either.
well, she doesn't really do painting. She paints on things and like well, she does do some like sketches and stuff, but like she's just really like has really bright and colorful paintings and it's quite fun to watch. And then that makes you
Can you spell her name so I can look it up?
Moriah and just Elizabeth.
All right. So examples of Mariah Elizabeth's works.
So it's very artsy. It looks.
Where is? Show me some examples.
Let's
Go to
see if
images.
we can look at works. That's not what I wanted to type. Okay, let's go to images, not videos. So this is just a YouTuber. She looks.
Oh,
It's just pictures of
It
her.
looks like she's all about herself there, Reagan. Not much about the art at all.
No.
No, what do you mean no? Okay, is that
She
her work?
paints
So
squishes.
she paints things like ceramics.
She also
painted shoes.
they,
or
like
she
clothes.
hydroplast, and then she like does challenges for herself, like paint something with dimension. And
I
then she,
see.
like,
So she is a YouTuber. She's not a quote unquote artiste. She's just.
Well, she went to art school.
Well, what I'm looking at is not art. It's crafts.
Well, crafts the arts, but that's inspiration. They're saying they're drawing
Yes.
inspiration from.
Normally, I want to do something artsy after I watch her videos.
Oh, okay. Very good. That makes sense. Fine. Okay. Yeah, of course.
Do you mind if we try and come up with an idea of a painting on this podcast right now?
Probably not going to happen. Probably going to be way too hard, but sure.
Like both of you, we could come up with a painting. Maybe you guys could do it together or something in the future. An idea. Where do you want to start?
Well, you look like you got something to say there, Bean.
I don't.
Okay. Well, then why are you going?
You guys make one for us or something. I don't.
I don't care. No, I'm trying to draw. Where can we get some inspiration going right now? Let's get an idea for maybe your next painting. Maybe do a group painting together or something. Let's
No group paintings.
well, just inspiration then.
I wanted to try oil paints on a painting that wasn't like Bob Ross, like something like not
Realism?
Bob. Yeah. Well, not exactly realism, but like just not like just doing
Bob
my stuff
Ross.
without Bob Ross.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go for it.
What are you thinking? Like an object. What would you want to paint? A scene. Just setting. Something.
Setting, still life. What were you thinking?
I hate still lifes.
I wanted to do something at night, but I
Nighttime.
don't know yet.
So right now we're at nighttime.
So
Bean,
got something at nighttime.
We've got something at nighttime.
Bean. Jesus.
Bean. Yeah, no, it's hard.
Why don't you just use our names?
Just, we don't want to. It's your minors. Keep your privacy, that sort of thing. Yeah, but not for very long.
But you're saying something at night. Do you have a season, maybe?
Fall.
Fall. Ooh. A night fall painting. And like a scene. Like the park, mountains. Where do you
Like
wanna
maybe
be?
like it's at the edge of the park, so there are trees, but like when you look down, there are houses with snow on them and like Christmas lights, kind of.
That's winter, not fall. So winter.
And fall, like it's like an early snow. Like there's still leaves on the trees, but it's
It's
snowy-ish.
snowy. So like a later fall.
Or maybe like it's just starting to snow for the first time that year.
Any Christmas lights? Because that's winter.
I don't know.
But something like edge of a park. We've got some trees. We've got some houses. Like a suburb or just like scattered houses?
I don't know.
Well, just throwing around ideas. What's more?
She can work off of that.
Yeah,
She
something
can
like
work
that.
off something
So
like that.
we've already created an idea for a painting using oil paints. It's not Bob Rossi. You're painting houses.
Or
the
something.
edge of a
She's
park.
gonna paint something.
Paint something.
Something.
Well, we generated an idea right there. How about you,
Scout,
or Scout? How about you, Scout? Do you have any ideas for your next painting?
I kind of want to try like a cityscape.
Oh, cool.
Because I've done a lot of trees and nature. I haven't ever done a cityscape, and I've seen paintings online of just pretty cool. Though again, I'm not going out of my comfort zone. I want to, but that kind of painting is in my comfort zone, where it's like a sunrise or sunset again, so that the buildings are black, and you don't have to add color to the buildings in just the background. So I want to do maybe like a cityscape with like a sunset or something behind it. Maybe use different colors that I've used so far instead of like. I definitely won't do black and white again. This one I'll use sunrise or sunset colors.
Very nice.
Maybe add some clouds. Probably not.
Very nice. So, okay, hey, anything else you guys wanted to tell us before we conclude here today?
Anything else about painting? Your painting?
That you left off, something you want to add?
Yep.
Don't leave your paintings on the desk, or your cat will come and walk on them
Good advice.
when he's going to the window. Don't do that.
You've had that happen before?
Yes.
Which painting? Is it up here?
That painting.
Which one?
The
Camper or without the
no, the one without the camper. The
So
one.
the starry night with the sunset and trees.
Yeah.
So your cat has signed that painting. If we go up there and look, we'll see paw prints somewhere?
You won't see paw prints. You'll just see a big dent in the middle.
Oh,
He's
okay.
also sat on it. So.
Oh, great. So there's butt marks on there, too. Probably a little poop left over from
Yeah, don't do that.
its little hairy butt. All right. Well, cool, you guys. Thanks for
Yes, thank you
joining us.
for joining us.
Thanks for coming and letting us talk to you. And
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun. I learned some stuff.
learned a lot about painting.
Got to pick your brains. And
Maybe we'll get to come back sometime. We can do more artsy stuff or something.
that's actually, we should just have them back after they do what we talked about. And we can
Your
talk about
paintings?
those. Yeah. And so the trials and tribulations, right?
Yeah.
Cool. And thank you all for listening to this episode of Conversation Transfer. If you'd like to join the conversation, remember, piss off Facebook, piss off Instagram, and Twitter. You can certainly piss off. Go ahead and write us an email, conversationtransfer@gmail.com. Write an email, we'll read an email.
If you like this episode, you can try more on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. iHeartRadio did finally publish.
Good.
Yep.
And YouTube.
Maybe YouTube. We'll see. It'll be added later if we do YouTube.
Got to do YouTube if we're going to talk about art.
Or on our hosting website, Speakers. Stay safe, keep thinking, and keep talking.
Bye.
Bye.